Chapter 91. Birds of a feather flock together. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 91. Birds of a feather flock together. It was the first time she had such good sleep ever since she had rhinitis. She used to wake up the moment her nose felt stifled and remained restless all night. Even when she was able to get a good night's rest, she woke up feeling giddy, so she rarely felt energetic in the morning. She could not help smiling thinking about Jean. Jean was undoubtedly an intriguing girl. First thing in the morning, Yi Peiwen went on set to wait for Jean. Jean usually did not stay over on set if she did not need to work, but she was punctual. She arrived early today and saw Yi Peiwen standing in front of her energetically. "Hi, little stone." Yi Peiwen walked over. "Thanks for the mint. My nose hasn't felt so good in a long time. If you find it effective, I have more." Jean handed her a small clear plastic box with a few pieces of mint inside. "Before you go back, I will give you the entire plant so that you can take it with you." Since Yi Peiwen was from another city, she had to stay for a while to film the program. That would be perfect. Hu Lai overheard the conversation when she walked past them. Chu Ling was putting on his makeup when Hu Lai got back. They were filming an introductory clip today, so it was very important. Xuexin had secretly visited and was sitting backstage with him. Hu Lai told them about what she heard. Does Yi Peiwen genuinely think Jin's leaf can cure her rhinitis? Birds of a feather flock together. Xuexin looked at Chu Ling gently as she said, after all, Jin was from a small town. The small town she was from is famous for its plants. I wouldn't be surprised if it worked. Hu Lai recalled something. That's true. Is it considered a small town though? It is more like the countryside. Xuexin recalled her life when she lived with old Master Li in the small town. Even though it was inaccessible and did not have a lot of things, he always insisted on a good education no matter how poor they were. He even specially brought in teachers to give her drawing and piano lessons. How good could small-town teachers get? If not for her God-given talent and drive, she would not have survived long getting taught by them. It was great living with the Shi family. Since it was a reputable family and used the best, her painting and piano teachers were also top-notch. Hu Lai glanced at Xuexin before she smiled and said, "You are such a kind soul. No matter where you live, you have the poise of a socialite." Even though Jean lived with the Shi family for years, she didn't learn anything from them. Instead, she ended up being so unscrupulous. If she gets kicked off the program now, she has to go back to school. Mom has already registered her and expects her to get into a university. She can't do without education. Otherwise, things will only get worse for her in the future, said Xuexin thoughtfully. Hu Lai shook her head and sighed. You are such a sweet girl. After all the things she has done to you, I can't believe you and your mother would be so thoughtful. Xuexin smiled shyly before she made eye contact with Chu Ling in the mirror and looked at each other lovingly. Everyone felt certain Jean would get kicked out this time. Even though she managed to win after getting repeatedly challenged, it was impossible for her to be lucky all the time. Moreover, Yi Peiwen had not shown her face in ages and was just a housewife. Even if she performed with Jean, it was unlikely for them to have any breakthrough. Chapter 92. She might surpass Jean. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 92. She might surpass Jean. The audience could not wait for the competition to begin. After the controversial episode where Little Stone was challenged repeatedly and the footage of her clipping the orchid went online, Ultimate Singer, Songwriter, became a huge hit. Its popularity had skyrocketed so much that it had surpassed even a few weekend primetime programs by some major television networks. As usual, you can vote for your favorite contestant online. If you like them, vote for them and give them a chance to stay. The show started with the host's usual introductions. Jean was due to perform next. When Yongwei, Shen Qi, and the other contestants were given primetime slots and scheduled to perform in the middle of the program. All their guest performers were popular or had a lot of fans, so they were capable of garnering a lot of attention. The guest performers also told their fans to vote for their teams. In reality, it was not just a question of ability, but how popular the contestant and the guest performer were. Yi Peiwen had not performed in years, so she did not have a strong fan base. And while Shi Jin had loyal fans, and she was happy with the number, it could not compare with the other contestants. Shi Jin was out of luck. As the show went on, more people talked about it online. All the performers had their own edge and problems. The audience sitting in front of the television and computer waited to vote for their favorite contestants. Since the voting channel was opened at the beginning of the show, the contestants performing at the end of the program were at a disadvantage. This meant they would end up receiving far fewer votes. Shi Jin's fans were all waiting for her to perform. A lot of fans went on to watch other programs or play with their phones after seeing their favorite artists perform. All the viewers who continued watching were true music lovers. Even though they were small in number, they were far more demanding than average fans. Shi Jin and Yi Peiwen got onto the stage. Yi Peiwen was dressed in black. Since she had rested well, she was in good shape. Shi Jin was wearing a mask that concealed her face entirely. After an intensive and explosive interlude, the audience felt exhilarated. Yi Peiwen parted her lips and sang, leaving the audience in shock. People use words to tie us down. But we don't have to do as they say. The last word was bright and powerful. And the entire audience burst with excitement. She certainly lived up to her reputation as the queen of vocals. Even watching her from a screen, the audience could keenly sense her powerful vibes. Even if people want to talk, they can't deny my success. Yi Peiwen's singing got even better as she went on. The instructors were slightly worried. Yi Peiwen was an extremely explosive and experienced singer, so she was a force to be reckoned with. Now that she was in tip-top form, Shi Jin might not be able to surpass her. Would Yi Peiwen end up stealing the show entirely? Yu Guannan frowned and felt especially worried. Perhaps Yi Peiwen felt an adrenaline rush after not performing in such a long time. However, she had made the atmosphere high and the audience reveled in her singing. Many people accessed the official web page and searched for her name so that they could vote for her later. The moment Yi Peiwen finished the first part of the song, Shi Jin took over. Yu Guannan's heart was in his mouth. Chapter 93. You are too kind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 93. You are too kind. Chu Ling kept smiling. He clearly did not feel that Shi Jin could keep up with Yi Peiwen's singing. Shi Xuexin was watching this live. She kept her back straight as she sat and shook her head. From the looks of it, Shi Jin will get kicked off the show soon. I am not sure if this teacher is here to help, or make trouble. However, an equally powerful voice rang in the air. I will be just like the sun god. I will stand guard over these everlasting flames. I will follow the path of Prometheus. And defend your precious dream. Her singing style differed from that of Yi Peiwen's. The only things that remained the same were their supremely explosive vocals and excellent control. Everyone who was listening automatically turned to look at her on this stage when they heard her voice. After the singing was over, they were startled to realize it was Little Stone. Both of their performances were on par with each other, even down to the power of their voice. The audience was blown away by this discovery as they watched. They were no one's fans and were simply here for the music. If they could get moved by their performance, they were happy to turn on the application and vote for the artists. They were keenly aware of one truth. If they did not speak up and defend what they liked, they would not have a choice over who they wanted to see perform. Everyone opened their application without hesitation. And Shi Jin's fans started to vote for her wildly. Even though they were small in number, they were deeply loyal to Shi Jin from the start. Shi Jin and Yi Peiwen's voices blended into one as they stood on stage. Even if people want to talk, they can't deny my success. Yu Guannan was the first to clap. No matter who they were here for, all the fans present could not help applauding after the exhilarating performance. Shi Shuexin bit her lip gently and applauded with the crowd. After they got off the stage, Yi Peiwen reached her hand out and embraced Shi Jin. That was brilliant. I haven't had such a great time singing in such a long time. You are a worthy opponent. Calling Shi Jin her worthy opponent was the best praise Shi Jin had ever received. Xia Peifeng glanced at Shi Jin while waiting for the results. Did you really write that? Shi Jin glanced at him and ignored him. It was impossible for her to answer this convincingly. She used to give her songs to Deng Yufei when she was stupid. She did not know how much of her music Deng Yufei had shown Xia Peifeng. Even a top talent agent like Yao Jiahong fell for Deng Yufei's ploys and was all praise for her. Deng Yufei undoubtedly put in a lot of effort to market herself. Shi Jin could only wait for the perfect opportunity to show the world the truth. Yi Peiwen said to Xia Peifeng, "How could you talk to Little Stone like that? I helped her clean up the song, so I know best how talented she is. You are too kind." Xia Peifeng tilted his head back and had a sip of Sprite before he walked off shaking his head. On the stage, they had started announcing the contestants who had made it. The contestants with the most popular guest performers such as Wen Yongwei, Shen Qi, Hua Xin, and Meng Xiaoheng had no problem staying. They went on announcing the rest of the contestants who made it. Coming in 10th is Little Peanut. Little Peanut was Gu Qinghua, so Shi Jin clapped happily. Chapter 94. I would knock on your door as well. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 94. I would knock on your door as well. Gu Qinghua was terribly worried that Shi Jin would get eliminated from the program, so she kept looking at Shi Jin. The host went on to announce the contestant who came in 10th. All that remained was the last contestant who had advanced in the program. All the fans kept typing their idols' names in the comments. As for the last contestant, the host looked at Xia Peifeng. Let's invite Peifeng to announce the results. He was clearly trying to use Xia Peifeng. Since he was the most popular guest performer, more people would watch if he announced the final surviving contestant. Xia Peifeng took the microphone. He glanced at the name list without saying a word before he said coolly, "It's Little Stone." The moment he finished uttering 3 words, his lips curved downwards. It was clear he did not like Little Stone. Xia Peifeng was always polite, mild, and thoughtful. No matter who it was, he treated people with respect. So even though Shi Jin had advanced to the next level, people started gossiping about her online again thanks to Xia Peifeng's reaction. Everyone kept wondering how Little Stone had offended Xia Peifeng to make him react this way. Xia Peifeng's fans promptly said, "It must be Little Stone's fault. Just think about it. Peifeng never treats people like that. In comparison, Little Stone offends people all the time." I agree. Why would Peifeng hate her of all people? First Chu Ling, now even Peifeng hates her. She is just a troublemaker. Regardless of how their fans argued, a lot of fans felt relieved that Little Stone could stay. Some viewers who genuinely loved music felt Shi Jin deserved to stay. They simply liked good music and did not care about gossip in the entertainment industry or Little Stone's appearance. They were happy to support all the good music out there. Shi Jin trended online owing to all the controversy surrounding her. Even Yi Peiwen gained a lot of exposure as she trended online. A lot of people searched for some of her old songs only to realize they had known them all along. They simply did not recognize her in person. Yi Peiwen and Shi Jin's partnership was a win-win situation. Even though they started out in a bad place, things turned out well. The song Shi Jin and Yi Peiwen sang called Immortal was very well received. The music application in collaboration with Ultimate Singer, Songwriter experienced an increase in the number of people signing up for it. Most of them got into the application just to download this song. The most popular post showing under the song read, "When I first heard the song tonight, I was so moved that I couldn't sleep, so I decided to listen to it at night. In the end, my neighbor came knocking on my door. Just when I wanted to apologize for waking him up, he asked, 'Dude, can you tell me the name of this song?' This comment left everyone laughing non-stop. Some people even replied, 'If I heard it, I would have knocked on your door as well.' The other guest performers felt regretful of their choices. Although they had appeared on the program and shown their faces, it ended up like any other performance for them and was completely ineffective in promoting themselves. Chapter 95. Broke Up. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 95. Broke Up. Little Stone wanted to perform with them, but they passed up on the opportunity. Chow Hui regretted it the most. Although she had been in the industry for years, she did not have memorable incidents or projects to her name. She was far from being a popular singer, and her vocals were not powerful enough to make her a world-class singer, so she desperately wanted this opportunity. She was already in her 40s. If she could not make any breakthrough now, she would only get even older. Initially, Yu Guannan wanted her to perform with Shi Jin, but she single-handedly pushed the opportunity aside. Shi Jin had just woken up when she received a phone call from Deng Yufei. She was exhausted when she got home last night, so she went to sleep right away and only woke up in the morning. "Shi Jin, why aren't you at Repulse Bay Villa?" Deng Yufei had gone over to look for Shi Jin several times but failed to find her. So she had no choice but to call and check. "I forgot to tell you that I already moved out." Shi Jin got off the bed and opened the curtains as she gazed into the garden. Fu Xiuyuan had already renamed this villa as Lanting Residence. "Have you broken up with Xiuyuan?" Deng Yufei sounded both shocked and slightly pleased. Her voice was so bright that it nearly gave her away. Shi Jin thought about their marriage certificates and smiled. "You can say so." They had stopped dating and gotten married. Deng Yufei was beside herself with joy. It was almost impossible for her to contain her joy when she spoke to Shi Jin. "That's terrible. Why did you call?" "Since you have broken up with Xiuyuan, I'm sure you need some company," said Deng Yufei. "I am sure you feel awful. Maybe we should hang out and write some music. If you have something to occupy your time, you will feel better." In reality, she simply wanted Shi Jin's music. Everything she had written came from Shi Jin's hands. Even though she had met important singer-songwriters like Xia Peifeng thanks to Chu Ling, she was incapable of writing as well, so she never chatted about music with them. She decided to work for Mr. Wang since he knew nothing about songwriting. Otherwise, her cover would get blown right away. However, now that she was working for Mr. Wang, she had to produce some work in order to show her worth, and Shi Jin could give her more new songs. Shi Jin already read her mind, and felt this was the perfect opportunity. She nodded. "Sure thing. See you tonight." Deng Yufei really wished to meet right away, but it was not her place to rush her, so she could only wait until tonight. Shi Jin put together a pile of original manuscripts. At night, she showed up to meet Deng Yufei slightly late. Deng Yufei was already waiting for her. The moment she saw Shi Jin, she ran over eagerly and held her by the arm. Ever since she was kicked out of the program, she had never been so close to Shi Jin. Now Deng Yufei seemed to have completely forgiven Shi Jin. Shi Jin placed her original manuscripts by the side. "Shi Jin, don't be sad. In any case, it's not like you like him. It is perfect now that you have broken up. Now you can be with Chu Ling," comforted Deng Yufei as she glanced at Shi Jin's original manuscripts. Shi Jin nodded. "I'm not sad. I have a lot of songs to work on." Chapter 96. Why did Shi Jin have it all? You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 96. Why did Shi Jin have it all? Are these your original manuscripts? Asked Deng Yufei as she looked at them in envy. Ah-ha. Shi Jin nodded. I wrote them recently. Some of them are ready for use while others need some editing. Deng Yufei flipped through the music with admiration. Are you going to perform these? Did you only recently write these songs? Ah-ha. Deng Yufei was green with envy. Deng Yufei and Shi Jin started to learn about writing music at the same time. However, Deng Yufei could only produce a single song after several months, while Shi Jin was like a machine. She pointed at a few pages and asked, why did you label these not for use yet? Oh, this. I have nowhere to use those songs yet, explained Shi Jin briefly. I will save them for some other time. So many. Deng Yufei felt increasingly excited as she went through the music. Ah-ha, acknowledged Shi Jin mildly with utter trust in Deng Yufei. I need to use the bathroom. Okay, said Deng Yufei. After Shi Jin left, Deng Yufei promptly opened the folder and took pictures with her phone. Shi Jin's lips curved upward slightly as she lowered her eyes to conceal the light in them. In the past, she had given Deng Yufei a lot of music, but Deng Yufei had stolen most of her music from her room without her permission. She always claimed to take her original manuscript so that she could show them to producers she knew and help people see Shi Jin's talent. Look what happened in the end. All people ended up seeing was Deng Yufei's talent. It was the same for Yao Jiahong and Xia Peifeng. By the time Shi Jin got back, Deng Yufei had finished taking photographs of her work using her phone. After the two of them chatted casually, Shi Jin lost interest. The moment Shi Jin wanted to go, Deng Yufei said, sure. See you around. Shi Jin smiled before turning to leave. After Shi Jin was gone, Deng Yufei promptly looked at the photographs she had just taken and scrutinized them closely. She had to admit Shi Jin was a very talented songwriter no matter how stupid she was. All the songs she had written were easy to sing and catchy. A complicated emotion rose in Deng Yufei's heart as she looked at Shi Jin's work. A sense of jealousy and pain ripped through her. Why was Shi Jin so talented? Despite Shi Jin's ugly looks, Fu Xiuyuan was head over heels in love with her. Why was she so gifted at songwriting? Why couldn't Deng Yufei compare to Shi Jin? Why was she eliminated from the program? Now that she was kicked off the program, it was impossible for Fu Xiuyuan to see her. She thought things wouldn't be that bad after signing with Golden Domain Entertainment, but Mr. Wang was simply full of empty promises and did not provide her the resources they had agreed on. Mr. Wang kept feeling her up all the time. Last night, he even asked her to see him at his hotel room. Would she end up like this if Shi Jin did not kick her off the program? Deng Yufei bit her lip hard as she clenched her fists. Shi Jin has to pay back for everything I suffered. She picked a few songs from the ones labeled not ready for use before she copied them by hand entirely and called Hu Lai. I heard Ling is working on his new album. Chapter 97. A setup. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 97. A setup. Hu Lai frowned. What about it? Chu Ling naturally wanted to cut a new album, especially since Ultimate Singer, Songwriter was a sensation. If he could ride on the program's success and create an album now, it would help strengthen his foothold in the entertainment industry. I have a few songs available. Do you think Ling would want to use them? Asked Deng Yufei. Hu Lai felt Deng Yufei was always a good songwriter. It was the main reason Chu Ling wanted to keep her close. However, they had fallen out when Deng Yufei attempted to use Chu Ling's popularity. How could Deng Yufei think Chu Ling would want anything to do with her now? The moment Hu Lai went quiet, Deng Yufei said, if you are not interested, it is fine with me. I can always sell them to someone else. Since my songs were good, I decided to ask Ling first. Show them to me, said Hu Lai. Chu Ling genuinely needed new songs. Songwriting could not be done overnight. Inspiration and a lot of work was needed. The contestants of the program were able to perform so many original works only through years of songwriting. Moreover, Chu Ling was caught up with work and was unable to focus on songwriting. If Deng Yufei's songs were good, there was no harm for Chu Ling to use them. Deng Yufei said happily, "I will bring them over." Before long, Deng Yufei met up with Chu Ling and Hu Lai. She handed her manuscript to them. She had previously copied Shi Jin's manuscript in her own writing. Chu Ling was a little nonchalant at first, but a look of shock quickly emerged on his face after he went through them. He gradually sat up straight. These songs were simply breathtaking. They were even better than the ones Deng Yufei had given him before. He hummed using the manuscript and found them particularly catchy. He could almost remember them with a single hum. Based on his professional knowledge, these songs would spread like wildfire the moment they were released. What was the most important thing an artist needed? Some people felt it was good looks while others felt it was the packaging. However, artists who relied only on either one of the two factors would not last long in the entertainment industry, so Chu Ling always used his good looks and music. An artist could only have a share of the market with catchy, classic hits. Similarly, people thought about Xia Peifeng's amazing songs the moment he was brought up. And even though Yi Peiwen did not show her face in over 20 years, she could still use her old songs to make a comeback. Chu Ling wanted to do just that. Sadly, he needed good songs. "Did you write these songs?" asked Chu Ling. Deng Yufei immediately nodded. "Aha! After I was eliminated from the program, I spent all my time writing songs. Ling, if you like them, feel free to use them." Chu Ling genuinely liked her work and could appreciate their value. "I will definitely use them if I can," said Chu Ling, "thank you for offering them to me first. If I use them in my album, I want complete ownership of the songs." Despite Deng Yufei's reluctance, she nodded. "Sure. That's fine. Name your price." Chu Ling did not want to take her work for nothing. "I want to go back to Ultimate Singer, Songwriter. Implored Deng Yufei. Ever since she started working for Golden Domain Entertainment, Mr. Wang simply used her for sex and had no interest in grooming her. Chapter 98. They were genuinely original. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 98. They were genuinely original. Even though Mr. Wang claimed he would let Deng Yufei appear in a lot of movies and dramas, nothing materialized. In her opinion, it did not matter to her whether she ended up cutting an album. She felt it was more important to salvage her relationship with Chu Ling. Chu Ling hesitated slightly. "Go back for now. I will get back to you." Deng Yufei knew he wanted to verify whether the songs were original and free of plagiarism. Also, he might want to communicate with the film crew. She had plenty of time to wait. As long as she could go back on the program, and back into Fu Xiuyuan's line of sight, she did not mind waiting. Chu Ling handed the songs to Hu Lai. "Check these out. I will check the intellectual property platform and see if these songs are original," said Hu Lai. "If we can use these 5 songs, your album is halfway to success." It is easy as pie to give Deng Yufei a second chance for the program. Hu Lai quickly checked the songs and failed to find them on any intellectual property platform. This meant the songs were genuinely original. Hu Lai felt this was a good deal. She had undoubtedly underestimated Deng Yufei's songwriting ability. She used to think it was pure coincidence that Deng Yufei wrote those 2 previous songs. However, she was unexpectedly able to keep this up. If she had known how gifted Deng Yufei was, she would have been more polite. Even though Shi Jin had set things in motion, nothing would happen to Deng Yufei in the short term. She was not anxious either. She stopped thinking about the matter and proceeded to pick a plant from her garden and carefully placed it in a pot. Yi Peiwen was leaving for home today and they made plans to meet up and eat. In just a matter of days, they became fast friends. Despite their age gap, they could chat about anything. So Jin wanted to give her the mint. Yi Peiwen and Jin happily chatted over dinner. Yi Peiwen was particularly happy when she received the mint. Thanks so much, little stone. This little comeback of mine has been absolutely thrilling. Yi Peiwen hugged Jin and gave her a couple of kisses on her cheek. I am very happy you could be my guest performer, said Jin solemnly as she looked into her eyes. This is mint. Use cold water to water it daily so that it will flourish. You can clip them daily for use. Okay. Got it. Ever since Yi Peiwen came to the capital, she had a good appetite and good rest, so her voice had recovered almost completely and she felt invigorated. It was all thanks to Jin. Also, she received a lot of assignments recently and even advertisement offers. She felt Jin was bringing her good fortune. After dinner, Yi Peiwen had to board the plane and leave. So Jin and Yi Peiwen got into the car and headed to the airport. On their way there, Yi Peiwen felt energized and chatted to Jin about singing. Several cars suddenly followed behind them with their car lights on when they got onto the expressway. Do you think it's the paparazzi? Yi Peiwen immediately said, why don't I drop you somewhere? Don't bother sending me to the airport. She was worried that the paparazzi might end up taking pictures of Jin because of her. Jin glanced at the cars behind her and quickly caught on. Were they not Fu Xiuyuan subordinates? L.rg. Chapter 99. Wait for my hubby to come home. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 99. Wait for my hubby to come home. Jin would not have realized it was them if she did not know Fu Xiuyuan subordinates and their cars well. What was going on with Fu Xiuyuan? Jin said to Yi Peiwen, don't worry. It's fine. Yi Peiwen was disbelieving, but the cars genuinely did not chase them like paparazzi while they drove at a steady speed, so she could not help feeling relieved. Even though the cars did not chase after them, they drove unhurriedly and kept up with Jin's completely. It felt as though they were protecting her or keeping an eye on her. After the car arrived at the airport, Jin watched as Yi Peiwen boarded her flight before leaving the airport and going to the parking lot. Fu Xiuyuan's subordinates' cars were long gone as though they never existed. Jin glanced around. Sure enough, Fu Xiuyuan's personal car drove up in front of her moments later. The car windows rolled down to reveal Fu Xiuyuan's gorgeous profile and impeccable features. He reached his hand out to open the car door. Jin got into the car and smiled as she said, what a coincidence. Aha. I happened to be nearby for business. I didn't expect to see you here, explained Fu Xiuyuan. He was taciturn by nature and only got chatty when he was anxious or helpless. Since he explained in such detail, he must be hiding something from her. Jin could even detect the emotions surging through his eyes earlier. Oh wow. Considering how big the airport is, I can't believe you happened to bump into me. Fu Xiuyuan cleared his throat. I agree. Something odd happened to me earlier. A lot of cars were following me, so I thought they were paparazzi. Which paparazzi was it? Fu Xiuyuan's eyes looked murderous. He simply refused to admit that he sent cars to follow Jin. Jin could not resist laughing. She did not expect the cool, proud Fu Xiuyuan to have such a childish side. Mr. Fu, do you know what I did earlier? Asked Jin. Fu Xiuyuan clearly looked anxious as he clenched his fists gently. He should not have arranged for Jin to be followed. Since he said he trusted her, he should not have doubted her actions. Fu Xiuyuan was so touched by Jin's efforts to obtain the Yao orchid that he swore never to doubt her. However, he nearly flipped the table over at the hotel's private room when he saw Yi Peiwen kissing Jin left and right. Ednel.co He vaguely recalled Jin saying she would rather date the woman than him. She also said she would leave him one day. He was overwhelmed by desperation and felt so suffocated that he had to send men to follow Jin. After he regained reason moments later, he personally called and told his subordinates to leave before driving into the airport. He promised to trust her, so he had to do it. Fu Xiuyuan could not help feeling awkward and anxious when Shi Jin mentioned what a coincidence it was to see him. She had not dumped him. She genuinely wanted to stay with him. He was relieved that he managed to calm himself in time. "What did you do?" Fu Xiuyuan's voice sounded dry. "A good friend of mine was leaving the capital, so I decided to see her off. After I was done sending her off, I wanted to go home and wait for my hubby to come home." Shi Jin's voice sounded smiley and it seemed as though she was talking about something random yet important. Chapter 100. Do you think he's handsome? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 100. Do you think he's handsome? Fu Xiuyuan pulled Shi Jin into his arms. He embraced her so hard that it seemed as though he wanted to become one with her. Shi Jin smiled. She could tell how anxious Fu Xiuyuan was. It was all her fault for saying stupid things in the past. She claimed she preferred women and said she would leave him and fly off one day. Even though Shi Jin ought to be angry, she could not bring herself to throw a temper since he had called his subordinates off and showed such a helpless side to him. Although he trusted her completely, it would take some time to nurse his sense of security back. His sense of security was still a tiny sapling now. However, she swore to cultivate it until it became a massive tree. On their way home, Shi Jin told him everything about her and Yi Peiwen. The moment she brought this up, Fu Xiuyuan thought about Yi Peiwen kissing her on both cheeks. After the car pulled up at Lanting Residence's parking lot, Fu Xiuyuan raised her hands and pressed them against the window as he kissed her deeply. His cool lips kept moving over her exquisite face until they finally stopped on her cheek. He sealed her with kisses, especially on the spots Yi Peiwen had kissed her earlier. He seemed determined to eradicate all traces of Yi Peiwen on Shi Jin or mark her for himself. Shi Jin made a mental note never to let anyone else kiss her. Not even girls that are her best girlfriends. After getting back to Lanting Residence, Shi Jin took a bath before sitting on the couch to play with her phone. Beep. 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 A few notifications came continuously. They were all from Fu Heian. "Jin, I have been recovering well recently. See. I just changed my dressing and my hand can already move." Her text message was accompanied by footage of her hands and her getting their dressing changed. Shi Jin replied. "You can start doing some exercise to aid recovery. Don't overdo it and don't do it too vigorously. Go slow. Okay." Clench his fist, Fu Heian sent a string of emoticons energetically. Before Shi Jin could reply, she sent a few more text messages. "Jin, my little brother visited me in the morning and I took pictures of him. Let me show you." Her text message was followed by 2 pictures of Fu Xiuyuan. She had clearly secretly taken those pictures. One of them was of Fu Xiuyuan standing in the corridor making a phone call. There were some shadows on his tall form and his features were particularly stunning. The second picture was captured as he looked sideways and spoke to the doctor with his impeccable profile showing. Shi Jin smiled. Fu Xiuyuan probably did not even know about these pictures since they were clearly taken in a hurry. Before Shi Jin could reply, Fu Heian asked. "What do you think? Is he handsome?" Shi Jin replied. "Yes, he is." Fu Heian was glad she agreed. That was the first thing she needed to help give a good impression of her little brother. All that remained was to give them the perfect opportunity. During this time, Shi Jin had proven to be a responsible doctor with excellent medical skills, so there was already a level of trust and friendship between them. "Then I will take more for you." Fu Heian texted enthusiastically. Shi Jin did not know whether to laugh or to cry. Since Fu Heian was still recovering, she had to keep her identity a secret for now. Just as she looked at her phone jokingly, she suddenly sensed someone looking at her.